Achievement, something that video games have to guide the players to get 100%. And of course, Final Fantasy XIV is not an exception from this. I'm glad that Final Fantasy XIV have an achievement system. It's honestly really important for a MMO to have it. Honestly, I don't have any gripes with the achievements. It's just that it has one problem, I will say, and that is it's near impossible to complete, especially if you're new. Because looking at the list of achievements that you have to do for this game and how many there are too, you're just going to wonder, like, am I ever going to catch up? Or is it even possible to complete this whole list of achievements, especially if the new ones keep on coming? And also, some of the requirements that they're asking you to do is ridiculous. And before I mention any of those requirements, I do want to say please subscribe to the channel, and if you're not going to do it for me, actually please do it for me. I'm running out of animals to guilt trip people, so please subscribe. So one of these achievements that's really difficult to get is the Palace of the Dead 1 to 200 floor to get the title Necromancer. And I feel like this is like the one that's mentioned the most when it comes to like difficult achievement in Final Fantasy XIV, for good reason. Honestly, it's really tedious to do, RNG based, a lot of planning, a lot of research you have to do, so you potentially don't get one hit KO, and if you die in a very high floor, you have to start over all the way to 1. And lastly, let's not forget about the whole RNG with traps, treasure, mimics, and many more. It's just taxing to do. But even so, this is not the worst achievement, and this is not a bad achievement at all. It's just really tiring to do compared to the other ones I'm going to mention, like the leave quest achievements. Because to get these achievements, like the name implied, you have to do leave quests, which you're going to have 16 a day, and each one you complete, you will have one completed in the leave quest, and it's a progressive system. So if you complete around 10, you will get one achievement. If you complete 20, you'll get other one, and then 50 you will get other achievement, and so on and so on. The problem is to get the very last one, you have to do 5,000, and you're restricted, remember, 16 a day. So ideally, if I did the math correct and in top of my head, it should be 1 year to complete 5,000. And I did say that 1 of 5,000 because in total there's 3 of them that you have to do. 1 for battle, 1 for crafting, and 1 for gathering. And of course, this is something that you're going to do passively for around like 3 to 4 years. And that's only if you almost play daily. And this just feel like a daily quota that you have in Final Fantasy XIV, like a real life job. The only difference is you're not going to get fired if you don't meet it. And let's move on to a section which I will call, like, do I really want to do this type of achievements? And the first one, I wasn't planning to put it in the section of, do I really want to do this? And those are ultimate raids. And the reason at first was because the amount of people that does it, it's more than any other achievements that I could think of when it come into this video. But I feel like that's not really a fair assessment, because ultimate raids are really difficult to do because of a lot of reasons. First, you have to find a party either by a static or party finder if you're crazy, and then you have to learn the fight and the difficult mechanics they have, and if you're in party finder, hope that these people know what they're doing, and also accept that you potentially have to do thousands and thousands of attempts just to clear the fight. And then lastly is time, because if you compare it to like Palace of the Dead, that's solo, you're on your own time. But the thing is, with ultimate raids, you're not on your own time, you're on other people's time, especially if you're on a static, because at that point you have to hope that everyone can make it on time, or if you could do it weekly, and hopefully like no one have to change anything last minute. It's a lot of just to keep track on, and that's why I feel like it fit in this whole section of like, do I really want to do this? But at least people attempt ultimate and try to get the achievements / titles for them, unlike the Lord of Minions. And if you don't know Lord of Minion, I don't blame you. It's a game mode that is a RTS in the Golden Saucer that is very unpopular. Honestly, you could say it's dead, which sucks because a bunch of the achievements now for that game mode is very difficult to get. For example, one of the achievements is win 50 Lord of Minion Minion player battle rank matches, and that's not even the highest one. The highest one is 300 rank matches that you have to win. But the winning part is not the reason why this is such a difficult achievement to get. It's because the queue time for this game mode is way too goddamn long. Like 30 minutes, an hour, or an hour and a half. And this is also probably the only achievement that I will say that you have to 100% no matter what cheese. And there's ways to cheese it. But I won't even say the Lord of Minion is probably the most frustrating, boring, and time-consuming one of that. The one that takes the cake is a other deep dungeon achievement, which is called For the Horde 6. And the requirement for it is to discover 2,000 pieces of a cursed horde. Post edit, I misspoke here. It's actually 20,000, which are the hidden treasure of the deep dungeons. The fastest way to find them are from Pomander of Intuition, which you get it from randomly from chests. So if you do it normally, it will take you a very long time to achieve. But like most achievements in video game history, of course there is a way to cheese this one. But even the cheese method takes a very long time to do, which you basically go into a deep dungeon instant and then you use a Palmer of Intuition, and if it doesn't reveal, you just leave the instant, you rinse and repeat that until a treasure reveal. You go to the treasure, revealed it, and after that you could just leave the instant and it should count towards the achievement. And then you left it, you should still have that intuition, and you could just rinse and repeat it until you get to 2,000. But again, it's 2,000 and it will take you a very long time to do. So you might well just have a movie on your second monitor, watch that while doing this whole thing. But these are just a few achievements that makes the game near impossible to 100%. Like a couple honorable mention is progression weapons, because there's just a lot of them and also more is being added. And also the triple triad 2 achievements, which are honestly the same reason of progression weapon. There's just a bunch of them and also more is being added every patch and expansion. But that got me wondering, if I play this game almost daily, around like 5 to 6 days for like 3 to 4 hours a day, how many achievements would I be able to complete in a year? But that would be honestly interesting just to talk about on how much you progress in 1 year. I might do it, maybe. I don't know 100%, but I might try to attempt that. And that's pretty much it. I have to say it's honestly pretty crazy on how much it's required to 100% Final Fantasy XIV. It might take you around 7 to 8 years to accomplish it. And again, I just only mentioned a few achievements in this video. But now I'm going to do some attempts of Palace of Dead to try to get that Necromancer title / achievement. So I hope all you have a wonderful day and see ya.